we're going to be making cards with turkey handprints today. And there's going to be a poem inside that I'll read at the end, but you're going to need a few things. You'll need some markers, and if you don't have any paint, you can go ahead and use the brown marker, if it's okay with your mom, to color your hand. I did that, and my print turned out pretty good considering. It is a little better with paint. So if you do have some paint, I didn't have any brown paint, but I did have yellow and also red and green. So those mixed together make brown. And then you'll also want some scissors and some tape. So we'll start with the paper. These three colors will be useful, although you could choose what colors you want for yourself, but it's smart to start with making your handprint right on the paper, because then you know how big your paper has to be. Yesterday when I tried this, first I cut a small white square and then my hand didn't fit. So let's do the handprint first. If you're right-handed, you might want to make your left hand be the turkey because it's easier to work with if you put a little bit of paint right onto your hand. Again, this is the kind of thing you want your mom to have said, sure, that'll be a fine project, go ahead, because there might be some cleanup at the end. And it's a good idea to wear something that you don't mind getting a little bit of paint on, or else just be really, really careful. All right, now let's add the green. And you probably noticed I used a little bit more yellow than I did green and red. I'm hoping that when we mix them together, that they will make a nice chocolatey brown. And if they don't, we'll just add a little bit more of the color that we think we need. This brown is looking more like an olive green, but we'll keep mixing and mixing and see if it doesn't start to turn more brown. I'm starting to see some brown tones. I'm thinking it needs a little more yellow. You think that might help? Let's try. A little more yellow, maybe right there. And I also think it looks a little bit cool, so that means it needs a little more red. So let's put a little more red in too. And I might end up with enough paint to make a couple turkey handprints, but let's see. Oh, I think this is going to work better. The nice thing is this is washable paint, and when I used the brown marker and I colored my hand, it didn't wash off so easily, even though it said it was a washable marker. But then I did the paint next. Yeah, I'm liking how that brown color is looking. When I did the paint after the marker, and then I washed my hands, of course, for some reason, the paint seemed to act like marker remover. So if you do this at home, I would recommend, if you're going to do both, start with the marker and then go to the paint. That way, maybe your paint will wash off with the marker at the end, just like mine did. It might be a different kind of paint, so it might not. This is washable finger paint, so it's supposed to be washable. I think they probably put some special things in it to make sure it is. And it said it's non-toxic. There are some kinds of paint, of course, you wouldn't put on your skin, but this kind of paint is just fine. And I don't put paint on my skin every day. This is one of the first times in this whole year that I've done that. All right, I think it looks pretty rich. So I'm gonna try it out. Big piece of white paper. I'm gonna put my hand right down on it and press. And then let's see. Oh, it worked out great. I'll show you. Ta-da! What do you think? Starting to look like a turkey already. Okay. I need to wash my hands before I use any scissors or tape. So you might need to do that too. I'll be right back. I washed my hands. It all came off. Now the paint is still wet, and you could let it dry before you start working with it anymore. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Let's see what happens. I think if we imagine a rectangle around it, and if it's not quite straight and you really like it straight, sometimes it'll take a second cut. There we go. And cut along the top. And once we've got that turkey handprint cut out, just like that, then it's nice to have a black frame around it. So that's where you could use a glue stick. I'm just gonna go ahead and use a little bit of Scotch tape, 4 pieces, and make little tape balls. You've probably done this before, where each little piece of tape becomes sticky on both sides with a tape ball. And then it can go on the 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then it'll stick right on the black paper. And we'll get a frame. So here's our black paper. And I'm trying to make it about the same on the top and on the side. And then we'll cut to make it even on the bottom and on the other side. And let's see how that looks. It looks like a frame. Okay, now for the card. So hopefully you have a piece of paper big enough. If your hand is smaller than mine, then you might not need such a big piece of paper, but I'm going to use the tape ball method again. So here's the tape. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll roll those little balls like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll put them on these corners. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's ready to be attached to the brown paper. And when I stick it on, I am going to do that same trick again. I try to make it about the same on the top and the side. You can see that's too big and that's too big, so we'll just cut off the extra part. It's kind of like what Michelangelo said when he was asked, how do you make these beautiful sculptures like that one of David? Looks so real. He said when he works with the marble, he just cuts away the parts he doesn't need. So that's what we just did. So now we've got a beautiful card. So now we've got these last 4 pieces of tape, and that will help us so that we can attach it to a big card. You also could have your card be all brown. And on the inside of the card, whether it's brown or black, you do want to have something that's a light enough color that you can write on. You might want to put, "Dear Mom, thank you for all you do. I love you," and sign your name. Or maybe it'll be to your dad or your grandma or grandpa. So many people to be thankful for. Your teacher, maybe a friend, a neighbor. So it's your choice. On this first card I made, I did get a poem that I really like, and you might like this one. It goes, "This isn't just a turkey, as anyone can see. I made it with my hand, which is a part of me. It comes with lots of love, especially to say, I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving Day." That'd be a fun thing to put too. So you could do that. Now you can tell this turkey is a little more finished. It's got those feet, the beak, the wattle, the eye. So let's add those things to the turkey we've been working on. We can add the feet even before the paint is dry. So they'll go right down here at the bottom. 2 straight legs and 2 feet. The beak might be a little pointy friend like that. I was careful not to get in the paint because that paint is not quite dry. And then you could put your wattle in, but it might be wiser to wait until the paint is dry, and definitely wait to put in the eyeball. When the paint is dry, it'll be easy to put an eyeball in. Now you've got a Thanksgiving card. I hope that works out great for you. I'll see you soon at the library. Bye.